What's up YouTube? This is Ultimate Shield 340 back again with another Destiny 2 video. So in today's video I wanted to talk to you about the final warning, which is a weapon that I had suggested in one of my last videos, which was called Barrier Chumps. And essentially I had recommended this weapon in the event that, say, if you wanted to, what options do I have as far as addressing barrier champion mods, and if I wanted to use something that was other than solar to proc strand, or I'm sorry, use solar to proc radiant, or what if I wanted to use different kinds of weapons, like what has intrinsic anti-barrier champion capabilities. And the final warning was one of the weapons that I had suggested. So in today's gameplay, I'm going to go ahead and show you some gameplay of the final warning. As you can see here, that I have it here equipped, and you'll see me use it during this gambit. Now, one thing I will say about the final warning, because it's a sidearm, the range is not that great considering other kinds of weapons. So if you are going to use the final warning, it actually can shred a lot of high health targets and things. Even if you go to Grandmasters, just understand that if you're going to use this weapon, just understand that you're going to need to probably pair this off with something that has either a lot of crowd control. As you can see here, I'm actually using a suspend build, or make sure that you have teammates that can support, covering you as you use this weapon to its or good positioning, things like that. Because you can actually, again, even though it's a sidearm and it doesn't have very much range, you actually can use this in high level content, and it will actually shred, especially if you pair this up with surge mods, as you can kind of see me do here in the gameplay below. However, again, I just recommend that if you're going to use the weapon in higher level content, just make sure that you practice using the weapon, and then just kind of have a pretty good idea about what you're doing, and then also pair it up with a longer range weapon in the event that you can't get close enough to utilize it to its greatest effect. So as you can see me doing here in this gambit, I kind of want to play, something short, something that could, show you the weapon to great effect without it, being like a full 20 or 30 minute, video or anything like that. So I'll try and keep it around 15 minutes. So one of the things I had, in the final warning, one of the things I would suggest that you use whenever you're using this weapon, there was actually a YouTube video I actually came across. I'll try and find it and link it in the description, and the content creator who made this, they escaped my mind at this moment, but I'll try and make sure that I find whoever it was, whose video it was, and make sure that I post it down below so they can get the credit that's due to them. But he had stated that you should use the final warning more like a bow. And what he means is that, like, you shouldn't, whenever, like, the how to use a weapon is that you hold the shoot button to charge the weapon, and once it's fully charged, you release the, either it will, once it's fully charged, it'll automatically shoot the weapon for all of the bullet stacks that it kind of has. It'll like rapid fire a bunch of shots. Instead of doing that, you can actually just essentially what you'll do is you'll wait until you'll see that, even on my screen, you'll see a whole bunch of white boxes, right? That's the weapon trying to find a target. It's not actually locked onto the target until the square box turns from white to red. So when it's red, it's actually locked on, as you can kind of see in some of the gameplay down below. Once it's red, you can actually release the trigger at that point, and then it'll go ahead and hit those body shots like you're looking for. Or if you want to just quickly put it to the aim down sights, you can go ahead and just release whatever charge it was that you have available to you without having to fully charge it, and then you can just kind of get some quick damage off, as you kind of see in the gameplay. So I hope that makes sense. You'll see me do this a lot in the gameplay, where when I'm kind of running up to people, I'm going to be charging the weapon, which you'll see on the left hand side, but then whenever I get into range and the box turns red, I'll actually let go of the trigger, and then I'll actually just do the burst right then and there. And again, at any point in time, you can just switch it to aim down sights, as you can see me do here, and then just kind of just lay into the target without having to charge it fully, and things of that nature. So when he said use it like a bow, essentially what he was saying is that you're supposed to be charging this weapon and then sort of letting it go. And so as you charge the weapon, if you dash forward, it'll stop charging. But then, you can just like how you would do a bow, like if you're running up or if you're, readying the next shot, you actually pull the arrow back to find your next target, and you'll only release the arrow whenever you find a target in sight. But in the event that you don't find a target in sight, you actually would either, depending on what kind of bow it is, you might press square to, put the arrow kind of down, or, to sort of stop the charge, so to speak, and then you could, kind of re target something else by allowing it to charge again. Again, I really hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to describe without actually having gameplay of a bow for for you to see. But again, I'll try and find that video and link it down below in the description. So if you want to really find out what he's talking about, you can go ahead and kind of look down into there. As I'm playing this game, I am really using this to my biggest advantage. I do have the mod in the artifact mods where it says once you pick up an orb of power, you are going to use you're going to get unraveling rounds. This automatically comes with unraveling rounds, so you don't actually need that mod. It just so happens that, it worked out for me because I'm just going to use strand. So it would apply the unraveling rounds to anything that I have that are strand weapons. But again, this automatically intrinsically provides the unraveling rounds, which is anti-barrier, without even any mod. So it would not matter if you use this weapon in any season. This weapon is automatically always going to have intrinsic anti-barrier rounds. So you'll always have, at least if you use this weapon, you'll always have at least something to address barrier champions. So something to kind of keep in mind as you use this weapon. So this, in my opinion, Final Warning is actually another like unappreciated weapon. A lot of people don't really, or at least what I've seen, a lot of people don't really talk about it too much. But it's actually really powerful. Whenever you do the aim down sights and you like hit those critical hit spots, it will shred targets very, very quickly. So I hope that in this gameplay you see it and you're going to be willing to give it a try. So I decided to play you another Gambit match so that you can kind of see some more gameplay of me using the weapon. I will say that unfortunately, the ending of this video is actually anticlimactic. So I'm just gonna kind of give you a forewarning there, but you'll be able to see in the gameplay kind of what I mean. But as far as during the gameplay, you'll actually continue to see me use this weapon. So. As far as this weapon is concerned, I definitely am going to be using this a lot during the season. I actually do not care that much for sidearms in general, although it's kind of ironic. The Final Warning is a sidearm. This is one of the few sidearms that I really do actually enjoy because of the amount of damage and things that you can get from it, and the anti-barrier capabilities, and just the lock-on thing. Because if you're I'm just a very average player in general, or at least by my own admission, or at least my own opinion of my own self. Because it's very interesting if you ever, record yourself playing video games, and like I do for YouTube, you actually kind of notice a lot of your own, like, not necessarily mistakes, but you'll start to learn, kind of notice a bunch of your tendencies and things as you kind of rewatch the footage and the gameplay. And one of my biggest things I would say is that, like, I am terrible at aiming. So this weapon sort of compensates for me being a potato in that way. Again, I'm not some master sharpshooter. I'm certainly not the worst. I'm definitely not the best either. Somewhere right there in the middle. So this is one of those kinds of weapons that I would say is, once you kind of get the hang of like what you're gonna, like how you're gonna use this weapon or whatever, it's actually rather user friendly. Once you kind of understand how it works. I would say that's the difficult part of the weapon, is figuring out how it works. But once you figure out how it works, it's actually very useful in a lot of different things. It has pretty much everything that you can think of as far as a weapon is concerned. Great damage, add clear, and again, it really will shred through a lot of different things if you use it the way it's sort of intended to do so. So just something to think about. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and kind of leave you with some of my final thoughts. How are you all feeling about the Season of the Witch? By the time this video is coming out, the Dawning event will be over. and then will likely be in Iron Banner, and continuing throughout the season. What do you all think about Season of the Witch so far? As of right now, again, I'm actually kind of enjoying this season. I think that this whole storyline between Riven and Mara and all the rest of them, I think is very interesting. Especially if you follow the story or whatever. I've been kind of listening to it as I've been playing through the season, and it is actually very interesting. And I won't spoil it here for you or anything like that, but as far as the story and everything is concerned, that's actually pretty interesting, I think, in my personal opinion. Again, Riven's Coil is awesome for the rewards and what you can get from it. If you are able to sort of soldier on through to the end of it and get the platinum goal. The Witchkeeper bow is now out. I did obtain it in my own playthrough, although I have not yet obtained the two new. By the time this come out, the second catalyst will then now be available. I have not, as the recording of this video, I have not obtained either of the two add-ons, but I plan on probably getting the add-on as well. And my other plan is to actually go back and get the Wicked Implement, which I never actually did from last season. I meant to always get that, but just never got around to doing it. And the new dungeon is actually pretty awesome. I did actually complete the new dungeon, although I have yet to get the weapon. Unfortunately, I was unlucky with my drops, and I have not obtained the weapon, but I am working on completing the requirements for the catalyst for whenever I do obtain the weapon. I think as far as that's concerned, my next goal is probably to try and complete it on the legendary mode, so I'll be guaranteed a drop of the new weapon. The new weapon, I may or may not do a video review of it, kind of like I've done with the Final Warning. I haven't really decided yet if I get it or when I do get that weapon. If I do, I'll of course make a video for you to see. Although I'm not particularly interested in the weapon, like I want to get it just because it'll be my first actual dungeon I actually went through and actually tried to complete, and got the weapon and the catalyst and things for. This is kind of a personal goal setting kind of thing. I want it just for bragging rights and just for my own self, but I'm not particularly interested in the weapon itself, so we'll see. Other than that, give me your thoughts down below. If you like what I have here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Really love to hear from you all in the comment section down below. Otherwise, this is Ultimate Shield 340 signing off, and I'll see you in Destiny 2. Peace.
Ooh, that's quite the haul, thank you very much. Old Drifter's gonna put these motes to good use. Trust.